Hello and welcome to the ultimate guide on how you can reinvent yourself in 3 to 6 months. How you can completely transform your life in 3 to 6 months. And this is specially for you if you are someone that would like to become their best self, understand yourself better, find your core values and strengths so that you can, in a way, leverage them to transform your life completely. So, if that sounds interesting to you, then this is exactly for you. And if you don't already know me, my name is Mohit Jagwani. I'm an entrepreneur, life coach, and one of India's top speakers. And my goal with this channel is to help you build a better life by helping you become the most powerful and the most confident version of yourself. So if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe right now. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get started. So step one is to understand your core values and strengths. Here's the thing, right? Before you even think about transforming yourself, you first need to understand yourself. Understand who you are. What is the good that is inside of you? What is the bad inside of you? What is exactly inside of you that is changeable, transformable, and what exactly is it that is not transformable, not changeable? So, for example, let me explain it to you. So, there are two parts to yourself. One is the unchangeable core, and this part is not that easy to change. And the second is the changeable exterior, and the changeable exterior is relatively easy to change. You can modify it. And when it comes to the unchangeable core, right, for example, your core values, your core strengths that are aligned with your values, your personality that you have been raised with since, let's say, you were a child, and your nature, inherent core nature as a person, right? Your genetic predisposition. These are all of the things that are really hard to change. Now, they are not impossible. Remember that. It's just really freaking hard for you to change them. The next is the changeable exterior. So, for example, your mindset is to a very big extent changeable. Your actions, since you can change your mindset, you can change your actions as well. After that, your habits, if you can change your actions, you can change your habits. But that also depends on how long have you been with those habits and whether they are good or bad. For example, if you have been doing a bad habit that has been with you since a very long time, it's going to be really hard for you to change it. But does that mean it's completely impossible? Absolutely not. In fact, I have changed a habit of mine that I really struggled with since the time I was a child. So, is it impossible? Absolutely not. You can change habits that have been there for a very long time as well. And it took me 25 years to change it. I mean, it was everything for 25 years. It took me a year and a half of conscious effort to change it. So, it is possible. Your meaning behind the stories you tell yourself, whatever is it, that is your belief, that is your mindset, whatever is the meaning that you have put behind an experience, you get to decide what is the meaning behind that, and you can change it as well. And external appearances, obviously this is changeable, correct? You change your beard, again you change your clothes, all of this is changeable, but it most definitely is an extension, a reflection of your inner self. Okay, so now how can you understand who you are? Now, I'll be enlisting a couple of tests in the description. One of them is the personal values test. So the website is going to be listed below, and with that test you will be able to understand what exactly is it that are your values that have been imparted to you in your childhood. Generally, that is when your formative years are, and the way you have been treated as a child actually molds a lot of who you are as an adult as well, and especially the first 5 to 10 years. For example, now when you were really young, the values that were imparted to you were, let's say, that of chaos, or of, were, let's say, they were not that positive, in a way kind of negative. You were brought up in a very chaotic environment. Now, a lot of the times people think that that's completely negative, which in a lot of the cases turns out to be negative. but you get to decide the meaning of this. When you go through an environment like that, you know what happens? Your ability to handle stress is so much better than everyone else around you. So you can do jobs that are much more stressful compared to other people. And as a result, you can thrive in those stressful environments as well. So it's not all bad, even if you have gone through a very chaotic, stressful childhood. But let's say you have been brought up in a childhood that has been, as a child, you were taken care of and you were deeply cared for. And as a result, you became really empathetic as well. Now you are someone that has a predisposition of being very empathetic to people. That can be utilized as well to help people, nurture them, right? So no matter what your values are, they can be used to help you grow and help you become a better version of yourself. Correct? So figure out what are your values, and there's a test below, personal values test. You can take that as well. Apart from that, you can also take the 16 personalities test. That is also going to help you understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what kind of person you are. And that is going to give you an in-depth analysis of your strengths in different areas, not just personal life or professional life, both. What you should do for career. A lot of the guidelines are given, but are these tests 100% accurate? No, because ultimately there is going to be a bias that you will have inside of you. Another test that you can take is the DISC test. It's going to help you understand what is your communication style as well. The link to take all of those tests is given below. To find your strengths, you can also take the Hi-Fi test as well. So with that, you will actually be able to gain a pretty good insight on what exactly is it that are your strengths and your weaknesses and your values as well. Now, once you understand that, okay, then we can move on towards the next step, which is finding your purpose, finding your passion, and everything good that you can do. So step 2 is finding out your passion and purpose. Now, I'm sure you already know this activity and you already know about this. It's called Ikigai, right? So if you don't already know, Ikigai is the intersection of what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So that is essentially your Ikigai. It comes from this Japanese concept, and it is also called your reason for being. Now, what you can do is that take a pen and write down everything that you feel that you are good at. You can also think about things that people have said to you, that have, people have given you compliments on. These are also the things that you are naturally or have grown to become good at, right? After that, think about what you love. This is pretty easy. You know what you love because again, you love it, right? It's pretty simple. I don't know why I try to over exaggerate it, but yeah. Then what you can be paid for, think about that. Now generally, try and think about the intersection already, basically the intersection of what you are already good at and what you can be paid for. For example, the thing that I'm already good at and that I can be paid for is, you know editing, helping people understand how they can edit in a way videos, or make their videos more presentable and attract the right audience. Not in terms of, let's say, editing 100%. I am really good at editing as well, but I just prefer not editing my videos as much right now. Correct? So helping people, let's say, create their presence on a social media platform is something that I can be paid for and I'm good at as well. Now, if you don't already know me, I know I barely have 200 subscribers on YouTube, but I'm just starting out on YouTube and I already have my presence on Instagram and I have more than 10,000 followers, 12,000 followers on Instagram. So if you don't already follow me over there, you can check that out as well. The link is going to be in the description to follow me on Instagram. Now, that being said, apart from that, I'm really good at understanding people, understanding where they come from, understanding what exactly is the problem they are suffering with, being empathetic about it. So that is something that I'm also really good at. And apart from listening, I'm also really good at speaking and motivating them, influencing them, right? That is also the reason that I decided to become a coach of sorts, because I'm good at listening and speaking. And by the way, if you are someone that is struggling in any sense in relation to your purpose, or you want to upskill yourself in terms of public speaking, you can reach out to me, and you can check out the description below. And whether it's public speaking, communication, or just life coaching, there is a form that you can fill to connect with me. Okay, so what you are good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs right now, in my opinion, the world needs a lot of healing. The world is very defocused right now, and the world needs to upskill itself as well. All of these are things that continuously is that the world needs continuously, and that is something that I like to do as well, that I would help people with as well. And something that I really love is people thanking me for whatever I did for them, or people looking up to me, I inspiring them in some way or the other. That is something that I love. And that is why my ikigai is a combination of whatever I'm good at, which is basically public speaking. Whatever I love, I use public speaking to again transform people's lives, which they need, and I can be paid for as well. And I absolutely love doing that as well. I love when they share with me that, Mohit, you know what, thank you so much for helping me upskill myself, for helping me transform myself. So that is my ikigai, which is to help people be the best version of themselves. And in that process, I also improve myself as well. Correct? So that is my ikigai. Similarly, you can find out what exactly is your ikigai. How can you transform yourself as an individual and the world? Correct? So find out your ikigai, do this exercise, and you know, you don't even have to just focus on what you are good at. You can focus on the intersections as well. For example, the intersection of what you are good at and what you love is basically your passion. The intersection of what you are good at and what you can be paid for is essentially your profession. The intersection of what you can be paid for and what the world needs is your vocation, and the intersection of what you love and what the world needs is your mission. You can find out the intersection of that, and you have your ikigai. Correct? So moving on, once you understand that, okay, this is your ikigai, and if you still don't get it, let me share a story with you that helped me understand my ikigai and how I came upon it. Now, to tell you a little bit about myself, back in childhood, I was given a lot of care, attention, nurturing. I was raised very well, and they labeled me as a child that was very well educated, very kind, and very composed, very loving, very cooperative. That was when I was very young. And then what happened is that my mom started working a job. My dad was already busy. My elder sister, she had to go to study, and my grandfather passed away. And as a result, whatever attention was given to me, it was taken away from me. And I tried to find that attention elsewhere. And the way I found that attention was, in a way, negative. I got attracted towards people that used to smoke, that were elder to me, drink, smoke up, weed, drugs, things of that nature. And I started smoking at a very young age, not because I liked it. I was labeled as a very good child, but I did it because I wanted attention. And as a result of that, I started smoking early, and I got into get that downward spiral. And because my inner core previously was that of being a good boy, when my parents actually found out that I am doing this, they started criticizing me, they started labeling me as bad, and in a way, I felt unaligned with my previous self. And I started spiraling downwards. I was really initially good at academics, but now I was not. I was spiraling downwards. And I got in college with that same mindset. I was hanging out with friends that were drinking, smoking, doing negative things. And but there's one more thing that happened with me. I became a part of this non-profit organization wherein my job was to help children. I was a wingman. I was a wingman to those children. So, as a wingman, my job was to teach children in 11th and 12th, but not just teach, in a way, become their life coach, become their guide. And that is something that really fueled me as well. And I found out that, okay, you know what, this is something that I would really like to do, because this was, in a way, aligned with that goodness within me that I already was there. And I did that, and eventually I discovered public speaking, and I became really good at it as well. And in a way, I was able to impact people positively through public speaking. So the attention that I craved, I got through public speaking. And the thankfulness that people said to me that, oh, you're a wonderful person, you're a good guy, you're transforming people's lives. That that attention, that positive attention, all of that reaffirmed within me, and this became my life's purpose. Similarly, you can look back and figure out what exactly is your story, what exactly is your purpose in life by looking back and connecting the dots. How exactly is it that you were treated as a child? What was deprived from you? And how are you searching for it maybe right now? And how can you reconnect with it and in a way find your purpose? So that is Ikigai. Now, once you find out that, okay, this is your Ikigai, what the next step you're supposed to do is step 3, letting go of old habits. Letting go of old habits and old self that does not serve your purpose, correct? So that is the step 3. And the way you do that is by identifying what exactly is it that you do on a regular basis, but it does not feed you, it drains your soul. For example, things that usually drained my soul, and I just did for attention because of other people, not because I actually wanted them. Things like smoking, things like partying till late night. I did that only because of attention, because I wanted to be the cool guy. That was the only reason I did it, not because I enjoyed it. I did not. It was terrible. I never witnessed my mom or dad partying till late night while growing up. So I never, this was never within my nature. And as a result, I did it only because of attention, and I faked liking it, but it did drain me out without me even realizing about that previously. And now that I realize it, I hate it, dude. I don't like going out, partying late night. I like going out, but that is to play. That is to enjoy myself, be with nature. I love animals. I love playing with them. So that is what is aligned with my true self, correct? So letting go of those habits that in a way bled me out helped me tremendously. Similarly, what are some habits that you are doing that are bleeding you out, that make you feel bled out, that make you feel drained of energy? And think of how you can shed those habits as well. And the way you can shed those habits is two ways. So there's the one is inside out, and the other way is outside in. So these are two ways in which you can kind of work upon it. And inside out basically means that you are focusing on the inside, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your identity. That is what inside out in is. And when you focus on the inside, then it starts reflecting on the outside eventually. With enough time, practice, this happens. The second is outside in. In outside in, you focus more on the outside and taking the actions, right? In the inside out, you focus on the inside and the actions automatically take place. In the outside in, you focus on the outside, and even if it's not aligned with you on the inside, you forcefully take actions, and eventually it becomes who you are. It becomes your habit. Now, a very good book to learn outside in is Atomic Habits. And in that, there is a 4-step process in which you can do things that you don't actually like, that are hard. For example, if you don't already work out, you can start working out using the four-step framework of Atomic Habits. So basically what you're supposed to do is set a cue, and this cue could be a specific time of the day, or it could be a sound, it could be a smell, it could be a touch, it could be anything, right? After cue, you do the action. And as soon as you see the cue, you should decide that, okay, you know what, it's time to take that action. And then you just go and do that action. Now, the things that is really important for you to, let's say, follow through so that this becomes a habit is make it rewarding. For example, you worked out, good, now have a good, tasty, healthy, high protein meal that you enjoy, or just do something that you enjoy so that you feel rewarded after you do that activity. Now, this is to build a habit. To break the habit, you do the complete opposite of that. For example, you remove the cue as much as possible, correct? And then you try and reduce the craving as much as possible. and then you try and make the action as hard as possible, and then you punish yourself if you, let's say, for whatever reason, do that thing. For example, let's say if you want to quit the habit of smoking, first and foremost, remove and throw away all of the smokes and promise yourself that you will not keep smokes around you, so you are reducing the queue. After you reduce the queue, then work upon the action. For example, reduce, if you are smoking at home, vow not to smoke at home, and if you feel the craving, you go outside and go at a faraway location to smoke. Correct? And then after that, you punish yourself for smoking in a way. And when you do that on a regular basis, you make harder and you punish yourself. Then after a period of time, you might stop smoking. Correct? So these are some ways in which you can build or break habits, or you can also do fake it till you make it. So fake it till you make it means you are faking it. You are creating an alter ego, and the more and more you perform, and the more and more you enact that alter ego, you in a way become that person. So that is inside out and outside in. Step 4 is inventing and recreating your identity. Correct? So that is the step 4, and forming the right habits. Correct? And the way you can do that is, again, outside in, inside out. You can use meditation, and basically what meditation does, so there's specific meditation that helps you bring down your beta waves to the alpha state. And alpha state is the brainwave state in which it's relatively easier for you to influence your subconscious mind. And when you are in that alpha brainwave state, you can even reduce or remove the habits, or you can even build new ones, and you can recreate your old version as well. So this is something that I actually teach people as well in my program called Rewiring Your Subconscious Mind. And if you are someone that is struggling with, let's say, breaking bad habits and recreating your new self, you can in a way take that program. That is going to help you tremendously. The link is going to be in the description, and you can check that out as well. Right? Meditation is one way that is incorporated in that. Apart from that, you can also try affirmations. And affirmations is basically, you just say, I am this. I am a fit person. You do this daily on a regular basis, right after waking up or right before you go to bed. Eventually, this will start to affect your subconscious mind, and you will start to take actions. Correct? So that is another way, affirmations. Another way is visualization. You visualize being this already new and amazing version of yourself. And the thing is, your brain cannot actually distinguish between a real experience and an imagined experience. So your brain actually thinks that this is actually happening and this has already happened. And as a result, it already starts acting in a way that you are that person. And visualization also, if you've done early in the morning or right before going to sleep, which is when your brain is most prone to suggestion, it's going to work. Correct? So these are some ways in which you can actually reinvent yourself. And that being said, if you find this useful, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. That's all from my end. And again, if you like to become a better public speaker, or you like to just completely transform yourself and just become this new amazing version of yourself, you can check out the description below and you can consult me. But yeah, that's about it from my end. Looking forward to see more of you. Bye bye. Take care. Have an amazing day.